Hello, we're going to be doing lesson 8.2 today, which is prime and composite numbers. And this is going to help us when we start to do some of the work with our fractions. The factors of a number help us to determine whether a number is prime, composite, or neither. So let's take a look at example 1. Blair is arranging 18 cupcakes on a shelf. Find the factors of 18. Use arrays to find the factors. Well, they've already done the arrays for us. This is showing 1 and 18 because that's one of the ways that we can make 18. We could also make an array like this using the factors 2 and 9. That's another way that we can make 18. Then we can look at this array. They did the numbers 3 and 6 because 3 times 6 equals 18. So, since the factors of 18 are 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18, there are more than 2 factors listed here. So I know that this is going to be a composite number. It's made up of many different ways to make the same number. Now we have to be sure that we're clear on our definitions of what these words mean when we go to use them in our math vocabulary and when you're talking with your group members and with your teachers. You want to use the term prime number, which means that there's only one way to get that number. Like the number 2, the number 3, the number 7, the number 11. We can only do 1 times 2 or 1 times 3. There's no other way to get those numbers except for when you times them times themselves. 1 times that number. Sorry, 1 times that number. But with a composite number, that's made up of 2 or more factors. So with the number 4, we could do 1 times 4, or we could do 2 times 2. There's 2 factor pairs, so that tells me that that's a composite number. And it's the same with 6, 10, and 20. These are just the examples. Now, the number 1 is a little bit different. We consider it neither prime nor composite. So when you're discussing it, you would just say 1 is neither prime nor composite. Okay, let's take a look at example 2. So for example 2, it says Sarah is at the park. She counts 73 kites. Write the factors of 73 on the kite. Tell whether it's prime, composite, or neither. So I'm thinking of the different ways that I could make the number 73. Well, I know that I can always make it by timesing it times 1. So we could do 1 and 73. But there's no other different factor pairs that make the number 73. So since there's only that one different way, that with those 2 numbers, there's only one way to make it, then we would say that that number is prime. It only has those 2 factors of 1 and 73. So I'm going to write them on the kite. Yeah, there we go. Now for example 3, this is the one that we just discussed in the key terms, and it is saying to tell whether 1 is prime, composite, or neither. Find the factors of 1. The only factor of 1 is 1. So we consider that neither. I think you're going to have fun practicing these. Make sure that you don't just think like if it ends in a 1 that it's prime. It's not always the case. So you have to really check it and think about it and work with your partners and your teachers. Have fun!